How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out me a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff, not just Kaiju number 8. We cover multiple series on the channel, so feel free to go check it out. Anyway, I have wanted to make this video ever since Chapter 44 came out, because I feel like Chapter 44 is one of the moments where Kaiju number 8 has taken a step up to another level. When a new series comes out, this is just how I look at it. I'm not going to put any new series immediately to the top of my list. I might put it immediately to the top of my list of new series, but my list as a whole, it's not going straight at the top. It's not going to happen. It has to build its resume and hit new levels to get up there with the greats, or my favorites. So this is a new level for Kaiju number 8, I think, on the terms of hitting those emotional highs and emotional lows. This, to me, is by far the best emotional chapter in Kaiju number 8. Throughout the first, obviously, 44 chapters. The stuff with Kikuru was absolutely phenomenal from an emotional standpoint, and on top of this, something I didn't realize when I first read the chapter was after we get through the whole flashback scene at the funeral and all of this stuff, and we even saw that Kikuru said back then that I'll make it up to you, mommy, I won't let anybody die on my watch, or along those lines. And she then says it at the end of the chapter as, you know, Kikuru as we know her. She also said this back in chapter 6. It was a much more lighthearted moment back then because she just saved Kafka real quick during the training entrance exam thing. And she says no casualties or dropouts on my watch, at least not any battlefield that I set foot on. She's said this ever since the beginning of the series. So this is also a callback all the way to chapter 6, which, of course, it's not a 200 chapter callback, but you can't do that when you have 44 chapters. So yeah, this is still really nice writing to see that we were calling back to just what could have been any just plain old words said by this character 38 chapters ago. So that is very well done. Great job on that. On top of this, the flashback was done incredibly well, and to me, one point I think was done really well about it, because obviously it's nice to have these emotional highs, emotional lows. It's nice for them to really do a good job of pulling at those heartstrings, which I think this one did. You saw the light leave a child's eyes. If that's not a good emotional low to you, I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm not a super emotional person, and I fully admit that is emotional as shit. Okay, this is a character we know already. We've gotten to know Shinomiya, we've gotten to know Kikuru, and now we go back to her childhood, which we know her mother died already. We already know about that, but to see this detail then added onto it, and what I think done in a good way, I mean, yeah, it's good. So anyway, going back to why I think the flashback specifically was done well. Well, you get the scene with Kikuru and her mom and her dad, and it's, for one, just a very wholesome family moment, very endearing, makes it easier to enjoy and love these characters. But the important part, Kikuru says, I'll save you, and her mom then responds with, okay, well, when you're in trouble, I'll save you too. This is important because the first time we see Kikuru at the funeral, we see her thinking to herself, liar, liar. It's not until the next page where you see her say, I'm such a liar. So when you're on that first page and you haven't flipped it yet, there's two ways your mind can take this. You can take it in the way that it actually is referring to, of Kikuru calling herself a liar, which is extremely tragic, but I'm sure I'm not the only person who took it in a different way at first. I am sure there are other people out there when they saw that, thought, oh no, is this little girl calling her mom a liar because, mom, you died, you can't save me if you're dead, you're a liar? Because that is something that has been done many times throughout many different series, many forms of media have done that, where a child's parent will make a promise to them but then die so they can't keep up the promise. And through the child grieving and being incredibly sad and depressed and also angry and all of these emotions filling them up, they turn their anger toward the dead parent, calling them a liar and lashing out toward them, even though it's not the dead parent's fault. It usually never is. Anyway, that is the route I was going with it. On this first page where I see liar, liar, I'm sitting there thinking, no, don't, we can't have Kikuru do that. Please, oh, come on, no. And then I turn the page and I see I'm such a liar. And then I get hit again on top of the head with, oh God, I didn't realize that it makes it even more sad if she's calling herself a liar because she couldn't protect her mom, who's a super monster cop. And it's just this little girl. There's zero reason in all of reality, in all of anything, that this little girl should feel any kind of guilt for not being able to save her mother from a giant superpowered monster attack. But she's sitting there bawling, thinking of herself as nothing but a big liar because she couldn't save her mom. That is an incredibly emotional moment when we already know this character. We already a lot of us already liked Kikaru before this. She was already number one for a lot of people. She wasn't number one for me. I'd say before chapter 44, she was probably sitting around 3, 4, somewhere around there. Hoshina and Kafka were above. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Yeah, this was such a good moment. And what it did was prove to me, without a shadow of a doubt, because that had not been done yet, that in this series, we do have the capability. Matsumoto, as an author, has the capability in this series to hit these really good emotional moments. And if you cannot do that in a series, yeah, I think you can be great off just being hype. I'm fine with a series that is just hype. But to hit these higher echelons of manga tiers, of all-time tiers, you have to be able to hit those emotional notes as well. You can't be a one-trick pony and be like the greatest of all time. No, you got to be able to balance a couple different plates, and that emotional one, along with that hype cool one, are very good plates to be able to spin in tandem. This chapter proves we can do that, so I 100% say Chapter 44 was one of those moments in this series that put it to a new level. And I had to talk about it. I loved it so much. It was so good. And on top of everything else, this gives us the moment that Isao Shinomiya, Kikaru's father, changed from the loving, endearing person that we saw previously in the chapter to the one we had seen already in the series. We already knew and could infer from dialogue in the series that the moment he changed is when his wife died. But we actually get to see it now. In this chapter, we see him going from a kind, loving father and husband to somebody with pure rage and just hatred for Kaiju in his eyes. And his one goal being to make sure that nobody else, or as few people left in the world, have to suffer the way him and his daughter are suffering right now. You get to see that moment, and that's the nice little cherry on top for Isao so far in his character up through the first 44 chapters in the series. So yeah, I loved this moment. I loved this chapter. Like I said multiple times, I think it is the moment Kaiju number 8 has once again stepped up to a new level. So I hope you guys enjoyed the chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.